Fort Worth, Texas, a senior, 31, Troy Bell. At the other forward for the Redbirds, 6'5", from Chicago, Illinois, a sophomore, 42, Scott Fowler. At center for the Blue Jays, 6'10", from Rockford, Illinois, a junior, 25, Chad Gallagher. At center for the Redbirds, 6'7", from North Chicago, Illinois, a senior, 52, Gerard Coleman. At one guard for Creighton, 6'4", from Cleveland, Ohio, a senior, 22, Matt Roggenberg. And at one guard for Illinois State, 6 feet tall, from Chicago, Illinois, a freshman, number 14, Richard Thomas. At the other guard for the Blue Jays, 5'10", from Fort Wayne, Indiana, a sophomore, number 14, DeJuan Cole. And at the other guard for the Redbirds, 6'3", from Peoria, Illinois, a senior, 23, Randy Blair. The Creighton coach in his 5th season, Tony Baroni. The Illinois State coach in his 1st season, Bob Bender.
They're making noise here in Norwell, Illinois. They're rooting for that man, Bob Bender, and his team. We'll see what they do when we come back after this word from Pepsi. We're just about set for action. The number 3 seed Blue Jays, the number 2 seed Illinois State Redbirds. The winner of this one faces the Salukis of Southern Illinois in the championship matchup on Tuesday of this week. The officials, Ron Zetcher, Dan Chrisman, and Ed Schumer to call today's game. Gallagher and Coleman in for the tip. Illinois State leads the series 60-9. Troy Bell ball into Harstad from Roggenberg. He'll go off, it's blocked, and Coleman takes it to Ricky Jackson. Driving on Bell. Bell, a surprise starter here for Creighton.
I'm going to tell you exactly why when we get a chance. I'll tell you why I think he's in the starting lineup, JP. Man-to-man defense, both ends of the floor.
Jackson got through.
Boy, and that's the one man that Tony Baroni said he scored 32 in the last game they had, and he said in practice today, he is just not going to get that ball. He's not going to get a shot. First sequence, he scores. Now, let's see. Thomas is up. I asked Bob Bender about the defensive matchup. He's got his freshman Thomas against the sophomore Cole.
Roggenberg from three-point land, he hit it. Matt Roggenberg takes the crowd out, but that's only a temporary situation.
They can attack you from inside out, and they've got Gallagher and Harstad inside. They got the three-point shooters.
Fowler stepped through, coming off a 16-point game last night.
See, the one thing that really helped him, he lost about 30 pounds, and he's become a much quicker and a much better basketball player. He's on fire right now.
Harstad didn't look like the shot was there, and all of a sudden it was, and he canned it for 2. 5-4. Creighton with a lead and a foul on Roggenberg, and that'll give us a chance to set up the Bell situation.
Exactly. I think he's starting. He's been playing well, JP. He's not a scorer, but they don't need his scoring right now. He gives them good quickness, and he gives them offensive rebounding, and I think that Tony feels he can match up better with Illinois State with Troy Bell in the starting lineup.
Fowler with a jumper. That's no good.
See, there he is. There's the rebound right there.
Plus, he has the luxury of Moser coming off the bench where he has done better. Here's Cole, short on the 3. And in the battle for it, it will go Illinois State's way.
Cole is going to have to play 40 minutes in this game. The last time they played here last week, Creighton was ahead by about 10 points, with 10:15 left, and they self-destructed after that, and Illinois State went on a 16-4 run. He has to play 40 minutes because he's the guy that causes everything to happen.
He fouled out of that game. Last night he played all 40, and he was exceptional.
Exceptional. Nice defection. That's what you call playing the lane. That's good. 2 things on defense, the ability to anticipate, and then the willingness to sustain that effort, and you're going to see that with both clubs today. They jumped into a 1-4 set there. That's unusual. They usually go into a 1-2-2. That was a 1-4.
Gerard Coleman up against Gallagher.
Wow, what a shot, and what good defense by Gallagher. I mean, you have to give both of those players a ton of credit.
Coleman's been shooting in the high 50s from field goal range the last half dozen games. Good pass into Harstad, who draws a foul underneath.
One of the things that makes Creighton so... Now, you know, JP, because we've had Illinois State enough times, they are a very good... Now, he let them get there. If they wanted to front that man more, there's the contact. You can see good camera work. They're tough to guard defensively. Illinois State is very good defensively. Their help and recover action is superb. But when you've got people that can shoot the three-pointers the way this club can, and you've got the two inside people, Gallagher and Harstad, scoring the way they can, that really, really makes it tough on your defense.
Harstad comes in. He was 20 out of his last 23 free throws, so making 21 out of his last 24. And we told you yesterday, he has really improved from 60% as a freshman to almost 80. Makes 2 of them. He has 4 points on the day. 7-6. Creighton with a 1-point lead. 17:20 to go, first half.
There's a good trap. Came right out of it and started to put the trap on, but good recognition.
Good pass out, and Jackson hit the 3. He has 5. 9-7. Redbird Durant, but got something underneath.
Good call. Good action going inside with Scott Fowler and Bob Harstad. Boy, the intensity level in this game, I mean to tell you, is really, really high. And when I said in the keys, look at Tony, that they wanted to keep this game consistent and constant, they don't want Illinois State to go on some big spurts at the start of the game at any time during the game so that they can keep the crowd kind of quieted down.
Cole to Bell on the outside. Roggenberg,
2-3 zone. Bob said he wouldn't do it. They do it on the out-of-bounds play, but he said it's really tough to defend those three-point shooters.
Bad pass across. Blair will come back. Moser getting ready to check in for Creighton. Jackson for 3 more. Dewan Cole takes it back the other way.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't say anything. I thought Blair should have gotten the ball in the middle of the court to Fowler that time, JP, because you cut down the percentage of the floor that people have to defend, but they got the three-pointer.
A 5-point lead. Gallagher cuts it. Chad Gallagher's first couple of points. He had 15 last night in a win. Thomas, the freshman, against Cole.
Good defense. Good. He pinned him right underneath. Good defense by Gallagher.
Thomas went up and Cole got him in the wrist. And as you said before, Dewan Cole must play 40 minutes or darn close to it, so every foul is going to concern Tony Baroni.
I said to you earlier that I thought officiating would be important in this basketball game, especially because both teams play with such a great intensity on the defensive end. And if it does become a case of officiating, then I think someone's going to come off the bench who will be the difference in this basketball game.
Thomas scores. I'll tell you, bench scoring was nothing in the first half. The last stat I saw showed only 4 on one side, 2 on the other, but it could be a factor in this one.
You bet it can, because both of them can go to their benches. They're not afraid to do that.
Coming through on the second try, Thomas didn't get it. Gallagher pulled it down. 13-9, Illinois State with a 4-point lead. Moser working Jackson.
Look at the overplay. Look at, they push him right out of their comfort zone. Very, very good.
Moser outside to Cole. Dewan Cole getting a lot of minutes for Tony Baroni's club.
See, not getting much penetration. Good jump switch.
In and out for Roggenberg. Thomas has the Redbirds running. Ricky Jackson wanted Fowler posting up against Harstad, but couldn't hit him.
Interesting matchup because Roggenberg is guarding Jackson, and I'm waiting to see if he's going to take a one-on-one, and that's just what he did. I don't think that Matt Roggenberg, as much as I like that young man, I don't think out on the floor he's going to be able to watch. First of all, he knew he was going to, he gave him the baseline, but then if we can do that one more time, I try to keep telling youngsters, you've got to go to an angle. You can't just chase the man. Now, he should go right to an angle where that B is right back there, that D. And then you've got that man cut off when you get right to there instead of going or sliding along the baseline with him, JP, because the closer he gets to the basket, the more of an advantage the offensive player has got.
Jackson has a quickness edge there, too, on Roggenberg.
No way, because Matt Roggenberg doesn't have the foot speed to be able to guard Ricky Jackson.
Jackson has 10 points. The Redbird fans love it. It's 59, Illinois State. Illinois State leading at 15-9. Jim, what kind of numbers do you have for us this early?
Illinois State is 5 for 6 at 83%, and Creighton is 3 of 6 at 50%. I was about to make a statement earlier that I thought if the shooting percentages weren't very good real early, JP, don't blame the shooters and don't blame anything else. It's give them the credit for playing good defense, but they're both shooting very well.
Juwan Cole gives it off to Gallagher, playing outside. Now Gallagher posting up inside. Roggenberg to Cole. Lob for Gallagher. Denied by Fowler on the baseline. The quickness of that Redbird defense.
I want our viewers to please watch every time the basketball goes into the pivot. Two people ran right at him. That's what you call help and recover. And Chad is going to have to turn and pump that ball out to the weak side, and the man's going to be wide open underneath the basket.
Moser has the feel of a three, but it doesn't go. Gallagher, big board, but he missed the rebound.
Moser hit 7 straight three-pointers in one stretch in their last game. That's why I was anxious to see if he hit his first one.
14:45 to go first half. 6-point lead here for Illinois State. Blair, now Moser picking him up. Thomas looking, Coleman and Gallagher. That should be a great matchup tonight.
See, that's good patience. Everything's going well for him right now. Don't force anything. Look at it.
Coleman has 4 points.
See, he's got a 6'10" guy guarding him, JP, but he can move out into that area and still feel comfortable, and that's what he did.
Harstad fake one way, then the pump, and he beats Fowler. 6 Harstad points, 17-11. Blue Jays down by 6 to Illinois State.
They're doing a good job of getting that ball into Harstad, and they've also got to be conscious of Gallagher because they're not getting it to him as much as they are to Harstad, but Bob's got the hot hand.
Fowler with an air ball. Cole coming right back on the run. Sees daylight. And getting him on the wrist was Thomas. His first foul.
You play defense with your feet, but you've got to supplement it with the hand action. Let's see if there's contact. Oh, sure there's contact. Good camera work, man. That's terrific. Because, you know, I keep saying if he hits the hand that's on the ball, the hand is part of the ball, but that time it was an obvious slap. The one thing I want to say, we'll see if he makes the first free throw, about the defensive setup of Illinois State. The most important thing to a team playing defense, JP, is the pressure exerted at the defensive point of pickup. That's the most important thing that Illinois State does. The pressure exerted at the defensive point of pickup. How well do you contain them? And that's how they take most people out of their offense, because they push them out of their comfort zone.
Hicks and Pemberton are in. Checking out was Thomas and Fowler for the Redbirds. Coleman goes up against Gallagher. Gallagher forced him to alter the shot. Here comes Cole. Once again, he leads the break down court. Baseline Harstad quickly denied by Pemberton. Great move by Harstad, but Pemberton bumped him off. He didn't get him a good shot. Blair, Pemberton against Harstad. Harstad denying him. And out of play it goes, but it stays Redbird ball.
Pretty good defense by Bob Harstad right there, because Pemberton is 6'9". Harstad knew he wasn't going to block his shot, but you know what he did, JP? He bodied him with his belly a little bit and threw him off, and he got away with it.
Sonny Roberts comes in for Coleman. You know, whoever wins this game, fans of Duke University will be pretty happy, because that's the school where both coaches graduated from. Bob Bender's a Duke grad, so is Tony Barone.
See, the one advantage that Illinois State has is they can put Pemberton in, they can put Roberts in, they can put Fowler, they can all lean on Gallagher.
Blair on the board for the first time. 19-13, it's still a 6-point Redbird lead over the Creighton Blue Jays.
See, boy, that's good defense. Hicks is really trying to stop that penetration.
Harstad, great power move. 8 Harstad points. He had 19 last night. Hicks thought he was going to have a clear angle.
What a work ethic on Bob Harstad. He is just a determined young man today.
Jackson, that's NBA land, but he missed it. Harstad, see the way he gets the rebound, tucks it in, both hands.
Now they've got the numbers.
Cole charging through. Offensive foul on Dwan Cole. His second foul.
Tony doesn't like the call. He played out of control just a little bit. I thought he was going to do the right thing, JP, and bring it back out, but he took one step too many. If he didn't bring it back out, he should have stopped and taken that jumper, because he had plenty of people coming in the middle lane and on the other side to rebound the shot, even if he had missed it.
Hicks will bring it up slowly for the Redbirds. 19-15, it's a 4-point lead for Illinois State. The turnaround, Roberts still good. Gallagher was fouled by Roberts over his back.
Good call on your part, JP. You could see it. Good reaction to the offensive glass, but you just can't play out of control, and you just can't start climbing people's backs. Now, take a look. No question about it. Now, don't look at the shot. Just watch Roberts after he releases. Watch now. Look at the box out. Very good defensive position by Chad Gallagher.
Cole to Moser. Sam Skerritts, a three-point shooter, getting ready to check in. Here's Harstad, 12-footer.
Think he's on fire?
Yeah, that's the guy you want to get the ball to. 10 points.
You bet, because now they're going to have to make some adjustments, which means they're going to start running people at him sooner, which means they're going to have to start hitting the outside shot.
Pemberton against Gallagher, no good. Gallagher doing a good job with the body, not fouling as we get a foul here on Pemberton.
And that is a good call. A good call by Ron Jester. He put that player in jeopardy of losing the position he had on the floor, of getting control of the basketball, and you've got to protect somebody in that instance.
We have a timeout on the floor. It's getting exciting here in Normal. 19-17, a slim lead for the Redbirds of Illinois State. Well, pretty soon it's going to be one big happy family. Well, let's look at it from Bob Bender's side as his club leads at 19-17. He's pretty excited because his club is doing so well. And on the opposite side, sitting a little calm for now, is Alessandra's fiance, but she'll get into it. She's ready for this game.
I'll tell you, he may be able to dance a little better than she, but I'll tell you one thing, if I'm going to dance, I'm going to dance with her before I do with him.
Porter Moser will play it back out to Roggenberg. It's a 19-17 lead for Illinois State.
Good coach now. They've got to be patient because they've been able to get the ball to Harstad, and that's what's got them in the position they're in right now. Illinois State is out of sync in their offensive end. They're good pass.
Okay, the quick hands, though, that should have been through. Here's Harstad. He's attempted the last 5. Around and out, and he walked. Bob Harstad has 10 of their 17 points and has taken their last 6 shots. Tony Barone shouting encouragement in his 5th year with the Creighton Blue Jays, and he's had back-to-back 20-win seasons for the first time in a long time. It's only happened twice in 73 years. Fowler will kick it out to Skerritts. If he has room, he can hit the 3.
Now they've switched out of the man, and they've gone into a zone for the first time. Look at the zone. Look at them dropping back into the middle. They're going to try to force Illinois State to shoot from the outside a little bit.
Thomas picks up his dribble, put it up, no good.
Oh, push up. Roberts got away with a push.
He gets 2. Coming back is Roggenberg, and he gets nailed on that side.
Now, somebody's going to say, what's the zone going on? In the last game, JP, with 6:20 left in the first half, Illinois State led 29-16, and Creighton went to a zone, and they came back with 15 unanswered points. It was a 23-5 swing. Dick Fick said, we don't want to start in a zone. We don't like to start in a zone because you take that, that pressure away and the aggressiveness away. But if we get to a point in the first half where we can make that same kind of an adjustment, we're going to make it, and that's what they've done with 10 minutes left.
Roggenberg at the line, a good free throw shooter, but he missed. Roggenberg at the line is better than 72%. That's what he did yesterday. 6 points, a couple of big threes, and his 3 rebounds.
Now, the other thing is Cole already has 2 fouls, does he not?
Yes, he does.
And he fouled out of that last game, as I said. If he doesn't play 40 minutes, I've got to tell you it may be a long 40 minutes for Creighton. That's how much he means to the club, just as James Farr did last year.
Well, they're 12-4 since he's been a starter at that position.
Sure, it took a long time because Wrightsell was playing earlier in the year, but the loss of Farr really hurt that club early. Boy, that's an active zone.
Fowler, Gallagher distracts him. Loose ball, and there's Harstad. When he gets his hands on that ball, they're like glue on him.
You bet, you bet. That's why it's so important to have the skip pass very good.
Harstad with a fake, then the pump, a little body, no good.
Did you see? Did you see the body? The same thing that Harstad did at the other end.
Thomas, the give to Flores. Off target of the jumper. Gallagher the boards. Coming back, it's DeJuan Cole. These two teams played as recently as this past Monday. A three is no good. Roggenberg was going for it. Let's see who tipped it.
Good call. Good call. Roggenberg tipped it, but then it went off of the Illinois State player's hands. I think that's exactly why Matt turned and looked at the official. Let's see now if it's not tipped once right there. Now see if it's tipped again. Sure it did. Nice. That's great camera work. Nice going, man. Nice replay, Hippie. That's terrific. I know the Illinois State fans aren't going to be very objective about it, but that's a good call.
Here's Gallagher. The turnaround, no good. Normally, he's deadly on that turnaround. Coming back, Jackson. Kick out. Blair. His foot hit the line. They're going to give him two. Blair has 4 points. It's a 23-18 5-point lead. Redbirds. Harstad. Kick out to Moser. Now Plouts is in for the first time to Gallagher. He got nailed, but there was a foul before it on Chad Gallagher.
Did you see as soon as that pass was made, watch Fowler now. Don't watch Gallagher. Watch Fowler come racing down here in the bottom of your screen. Now, there's the contact. Look at it. See, that's what I call a... Boy, that's another great shot. That's what I'm talking about with rotation. So Gallagher has got to turn then, JP, and kick the ball back to the side where Fowler's leaving. That's what they've got to get.
Thomas will come right back slowly against Cole. Less than 9 to go in the first half. 23-18, Illinois State.
Staying in the zone. They've got it now. See, see, they're matching up out of it, so Bender's going to run his regular offense. He's going to run that 1-2-2 set even against the zone. A lot of teams will do that, especially when you match.
Thomas from Jackson goes up against Cole, and there's Gallagher. They may take the ball a lot against Cole to try and get him out.
Creighton's doing a pretty good job after Illinois got that early run. They have really picked up a notch defensively, and Illinois State is not in sync. And like last night's game, their defense better carry him until they get into it offensively.
Moser with a tough pass to handle for Harstad down low.
Not only a tough pass, but a very bad entry pass. You don't have any spacing, there's no use trying to force the issue.
Bob Bender close enough to give some encouragement to his players right on that bench area.
Creighton's 5th turnover. Illinois State has none. And in the second half of the last game they played, JP, Illinois State did not commit a turnover in 20 minutes. So that's 20 what? What do we got? 32 minutes they haven't committed a turnover against Creighton. That's not bad.
Jackson trying to give it out. And they're pointing at Gallagher. That's his second one. Second personal on Chad Gallagher. Ron Zencher's got the push.
See if Gallagher pushed now. See if Gallagher pushed. He's coming into the picture right there. Well, I have to tell you, my friend.
I don't think so.
I don't think so, and I don't know who the other Creighton player was, and that's where the contact may have come from.
Jackson hits two. He has 12 points. He has almost half of their points. 25-18, a 7-point Illinois State lead. DeJuan Cole, the kick out to Plouts. Cole again as Roggenberg gets ready to check back in. Great entry pass to Gallagher, and a foul down low, and it's a good thing that's on Fowler, or else Gallagher would have had 3.
There wasn't any doubt in the world that that foul was on Fowler, because as soon as Gallagher started to make his move, watch Fowler come up underneath him. Great entry pass. Watch him come up underneath. See that? He came right up underneath him. Almost got an Academy Award for acting right there, but that is a very good call. obviously, as you said, if Chad Gallagher would have gotten his third, I'm not pulling for either team, obviously, in this game, but if they're going to call fouls, especially on big people like Gallagher and Harstead, I hope they're the kind that it's not much doubt in anybody's mind that they don't get ticky-tacky, because this is going to be a great basketball game.
Gallagher was our Pepsi player of the game in last night's game, in the win over Wichita State. He was second to Bob Harstead this year in the Player of the Year voting. And you'd almost expect that, because every time you talked about one player, you talked about the other. They were always billed as the dynamic duo.
See, the second best offense that Illinois State has is their ability to keep the ball alive and go to the offensive glass, JP. And Creighton has done a superb job of limiting them to one shot. They have really kept their people off the glass. Not a real good shooting team, but their ability to keep the ball alive really makes them dangerous.
Moser with the quick hands, and now to Dewan Cole. Coming back for the Blue Jays. Blue Jays turned it over in 3 out of their last 5 possessions before the last foul when Gallagher went to the line.
Boy, they're doing a good job on Mosier. They're not giving him too much room because he burned them last time.
Great kick on after the penetration. That's as far away a shot as I've seen Harstead take.
You bet, because I said earlier, visiting with Stan Albeck, we were talking about that in his prospects as playing professionally, but I said if I were Bob Harstead, I would shoot about 2,000 jump shots a day during the summer. Oh, that's a bad foul. Because the further away from the basket he goes, obviously, the less effective he gets.
He's not shot a three-pointer this year. He's only taken 3, but he was close to three-point range down the other end of the floor.
I was sitting with Stan for the first game. I have to tell you this story, and Jim Bain made a real fine call, and then there was a timeout. And Albeck was sitting in the first row with me, and he kept yelling, "That's a bad call, that's a bad." He did it about 4 times. Bain finally turned around and said, "You know, I knew there was something familiar about that voice."
Coleman hits the free throw. Gerard Coleman shoots them at better than 65%. What he did last night is more incredible when you think that he had none of those points in the first half. Those were second half points. Coleman hits 2 free throws, so Illinois State maintains the lead and the intensity that they've had right from the opening tip. They're up by 6. Time to remind our viewers that the announcers for this game have been contracted for and approved by the Missouri Valley Conference, and any use, rebroadcast, or other transmission of this game without the written consent of the Missouri Valley Conference and Creative Sports Marketing, and that Creighton Blue Jay is prohibited.
Shooting, JP, Illinois State 10 of 21 for 48%, and Creighton is 7 of 16 for 44%. Both teams very well at the line. Illinois State 5 of 6, 6 of 8 for Creighton.
Moser to the outside.
5 turnovers for Creighton and only 1 for Illinois State.
Illinois State has protected the ball well here. Here's Harstead. You know, when Harstead scored a basket earlier, it ended a drought of 5 minutes and 15 seconds without a field goal. That Illinois State defense has been tough. Roggenberg.
See, I'm a firm believer you win with your defense.
Look at Harstead. What a basket. 14 Harstead points. He's outscored the rest of his teammates combined. Bob Harstead has narrowed the gap to 4 points. They've got to get some other players to score, though. Gallagher has 3, Roggenberg 4, and Cole 2. Thomas to Jackson for 3. And a good thing for Roggenberg that one didn't go in because he fouled him. That would have been a potential 4-point play.
And the one guy you don't want to leave wide open, and that's why Tony Barone standing up, pointing out on the floor, walking up and down. If you're going to let somebody open, you don't want to let it be Ricky Jackson, because he buried them here, as I said, with 32 points in the last game. And Tony said at practice he is not. We're going to deny him that basketball, and we're not going to let him stand around and shoot it.
Well, Jackson, what he's done is he's forced 3 fouls on Roggenberg. Jackson missed the free throw, keeping it a 4-point game.
He has shot 128 free throws, and as I said last night about another player, JP, that obviously tells you something. If people don't go to the line, there's a reason they don't go to the line, and when they go as many times as he has, that's because he's active and he's always doing something, creating and penetrating.
He made nothing out of those 2 free throws, so Creighton has a chance to pull it in at least a couple, maybe 1. In and out for Roggenberg. Pemberton stripped away by Moser, but Thomas got it back. Quick hands on both parts. Jackson up for the jumper, no good. And on the rebound, Blair committed the foul. Randy Blair's first personal foul. Both teams right now are in a bonus situation.
I want to tell you, Randy Blair really put himself in a good position. Watch, he's going to stop him. That's not Blair, I know that. Now watch from the other side. Nobody boxed him out, and he was wide open right there to be able to get himself a rebound if he'd have kept the ball up in the glass and pushed it right back in. The contact was a little late right there that they got him on.
There's Chad Gallagher at the line, an all-Missouri Valley Conference player. Third in the league in scoring, second in field goal percentage. Missed the free throw. Blair will take it. 27-23. That was a chance to cut it within 2 if he got both free throws.
You'll notice that Cole hasn't been penetrating a lot, JP. That was the first key that Bob Bender gave us. And when he penetrates, he kicks out to those three-point people, and they aren't getting a lot of three-pointers.
Thomas with a miss. Pemberton.
Oh, good job.
Why is Cole not penetrating? How are they stopping it?
Well, right now, he better be careful penetrating because he has 2 fouls, but they're just staying right in his numbers, and Thomas is doing a very good job on it.
Harstad just went airborne to try and get that ball. On the baseline, Gallagher. Coleman got it. Gallagher almost picked up his 3rd foul.
That's where you have to trade a basket for a foul, JP. You've heard me say that a lot of times. You cannot pick up a 3rd foul right there.
It's up to 8. Mosier, this will be a 2. Didn't get the roll. Randy Blair.
Now, take a look. Bring it out. Bring it out and reverse it. That's it. That's it. Get some ball movement.
Thomas to Blair. Low to Pemberton. Gallagher with a block. He had 4 last night, and Roggenberg takes it. Roggenberg didn't like that. He got a little whack there from Pemberton. I don't think it was intentional. Here's Harstad.
He's got to take it. He's got to take that shot.
And he's going to make it.
Because Pemberton dropped off of him and shut down Gallagher, and they made the good pass. They got the ball. They took the ball right to the action.
16 Harstad points. He's been over 30 7 times this year. He's headed for that so far.
Illinois State's doing a pretty good job of finding the creases in that zone, like right there.
Roggenberg, 2 important rebounds of late for Matt Roggenberg. And Tony Barone says, settle it down slowly.
Good. That's just what I was looking at, JP. Take your time right now. You're back within striking distance. See if you can get yourself a 2 or a 3-pointer. Try to break down the defense.
Roggenberg from Moser and right back. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Harstad looking. Moser. Gallagher posting. Harstad doesn't put it down on the floor that often. That time didn't get it. He wanted a foul. Pemberton was all over him. Here comes Thomas. Oh, Gallagher will pick up his 3rd, and it goes in.
This is Thomas. Harstad fouled at 25. Chad Gallagher is 3rd.
Now, take a look. There's a case again, JP, where I say, no way that Chad Gallagher, with the experience he has, watch. First of all, he was too late coming around because if he had rotated quicker, he would have forced Thomas to make a decision. Are you going to take the charge, or are you going to stop and shoot the jump shot? But he got a foul he never should have, and now he is so furious, he would never be able to play.
A 9-point Illinois State lead back after this word from Pepsi.
Creighton has been doing a superb job of attacking Illinois' defense. They're taking the weak side help away, and that's how they're doing it, by playing high-low. Now, Harstad got hit here. Now he goes down. Look at both of them. Pemberton's in the end zone right there. Harstad got up. He was absolutely incensed. Then when Gallagher went out, he was even more angry, and boy, they have to get Harstad back under control, and when Gallagher gets in, he has to contain himself also.
That was a bad sequence of events for Creighton.
Very bad. That's the point I was going to make. Harstad thought he should have scored down there. Nothing happened. They come down, score, and Gallagher gets the 3rd foul.
Harstad has 18 points. Illinois State, prior to that, was on a 7-2 run to turn a 27-23 lead into a 34-25 9-point lead.
Bob's mother came up to me and introduced herself to me at the hotel last night. She said, I'm not about to survive all this. I'm so nervous.
Coleman broke it up. Here comes Cole on the run.
Good judgment. That's great judgment. That's the way to kick it back out.
Better judgment.
He was in danger of picking up his third foul. When you've got two, you know people are going to jump in front of you, and Illinois State has got the defensive quickness to do that.
That is a smart move for the sophomore. He's basically a freshman with his lack of experience, and he's had some injury time as well for Creighton. From outside, Blair in the miss. Couple of tips. Right to Coleman. Blocked. It goes out. Troy Bell, who's replaced Gallagher, and he could be a key before this one's over with Gallagher in foul trouble. Harstad, baseline, no good.
Should have used the glass. Should have used the glass.
Blair will take it back the other way. They could have cut it down to 2 points with that before halftime. Hicks will not get 5 plouts.
Not bad defense. Did you see him go to that spot down on the sideline, JP?
Yes.
That's exactly what he should have done.
Denied him the baseline. Hicks is way off. Harstad will take it. This could be big for Creighton. They were down by 9. If they can punt it or even go ahead before the half.
But they've got to do it with patience. They've got to spread them out and take away the weak side help, shorten the passes, take the ball to the to the action.
Harstad outside, the Plouts who can hit the 3.
It's okay. That's all right. See how they're dropping inside? That's what they want to do.
That was his shot, but he missed.
You bet. They executed just the way Tony wanted them to. They got them going inside to help inside. They kicked it back outside. He didn't hit. It's as simple as that.
And they're going to hold for the last shot. We're pretty close to it. There's a 4-second discrepancy in the shot clock.
See what Tony's yelling, the same thing he did last time. Roggenberg wasn't sensitive enough about where Jackson was on the floor. Remember, Blair took the shot last time over on the other side? Well, that's because Roggenberg went over and started playing man-on-man on Jackson, and now he's matched up against Cole, and Tony said, don't you let that guy go anywhere, meaning Jackson. See, Cole's coming up on him right now.
They don't let too much time go. There's only 7 seconds.
Yeah, but I think that's much too long to wait to look at. See, they aren't even going to have a chance. No, that
Bell, I thought, blocked it. They're going to say foul, and Tony Baroni's upset. They thought he blocked it.
They may score here, but I still think, as I said yesterday, JP, teams simply wait too long to get anything going, because when you get down that low, now let's watch the call first of all. If he's on top of that ball, it is a jump ball. Oh my golly, that is a good jump ball. Tony Bell is right. He is right, and so is Tony Baroni. And you know what? People are going to say to me he got him down below with his body, and I don't think he got any body on that, man. That was a great block.
Gerard Coleman is at the line. I wanted to hold off until I saw the replay from Tony's angle. He's looking one way, but that replay looked good.
And Tony was close enough, a better angle than we had.
Yeah.
But the other point I was going to make is when you wait too long to take that shot, JP, you can't crash the board with 5 people. You know, you want to get a second or third crack at it if you can, and they simply waited too long. That was a good call on your part.
Coleman has 12 points in the first half. Harstad has 18 for Creighton. 4 seconds left. Cole puts it up for 2. It's no good. 1 second left. That's it. That ends the first half. 36. Illinois State, the Redbirds, with a 6-point lead over the Creighton Blue Jays. It's been a very physical opening half of play, dominated by Bob Harstad on one side, Jackson and Coleman on the other. Time for our Pepsi halftime report. We turn things over to Bob Lewandowski.
All right, we have reached the intermission. They are rocking and rolling at Redbird Arena as ISU has a 6-point lead, 36-30 at the half. We'll be back with the Pepsi halftime report after this short timeout. Stay with us. Time report. I'm Bob Lewandowski. We've got a good one going for you. 6-point advantage for the Redbirds. Time now to introduce those folks from Pepsi who have been instrumental in the tournament. Let's bring in Brad Smitheram, the branch manager from the Bloomington Normal area. And Brad, you used to be with Pepsi USA. Now you're local. And the folks around here are having a good time with this tournament.
We're having a tremendous time. We're the local bottler here in Bloomington. the sights here in Bloomington. We've got a brand new arena here. It's beautiful. We sell Pepsi here. We love it. The fans have been fantastic all season long, and we can't think of a better way to top off the year.
Also joining me is the commissioner of the MVC, Doug Elgin. And Doug, the association with Pepsi has meant many things to the conference, hasn't it?
It certainly has, Bob. It's not only the revenue, it's the association with one of the premier corporations in America. As you know, we're in the third year of a 6-year association with Pepsi. It'll run through the 1993 tournament, and we couldn't be more pleased, not only from a revenue standpoint, but again, the promotion.
Yeah, Pepsi's very instrumental in getting the word out about not only their products, but their association with the tournament.
Absolutely. Pepsi's got a couple of college tournaments, incidentally, the Atlantic 10 in the Big West, certainly the Missouri Valley in this region, and we couldn't have done it really without the support of the local bottlers in each of our markets. So, Brad, we're certainly appreciative.
And in addition to the support that Pepsi has given the tournament, and I understand, Brad, you have a presentation for the commissioner.
Well, we've got a check here on behalf of all the Pepsi-Cola bottlers, not just this one, but all the bottlers, the network that makes it happen throughout the conference for the Missouri Valley Conference, and we're proud to be a part of it.
Well, Brad, the student athletes, that's what's important. It'll go to the General Scholarship Fund, and we're, again, very appreciative.
One last question for you, Brad. Who's responsible for all those new commercials? I think everyone's getting a kick out of the ones there.
I don't know, but I'm glad we got them. We enjoy it. That's what makes our business fun.
We're looking forward to next year already, going on the road to St. Louis. What's the involvement there?
We're already talking about next year. We're very excited about it.
Any additional plans? Any new goals next year?
We're still working on that.
Okay. Commissioner, you're very pleased with it. Kind of an experiment heading into St. Louis. You'll need all the help you can get.
We will. It's a safe experiment, I think, in that it's a neutral site. It's a level playing field. There's not going to be a home court advantage. You're not going to have to go into somebody's home arena and beat a good team at home. And I think it's really in the best interest of the Valley. St. Louis is ready for it. I think we're going to be prepared for the challenge. It is a risk to a degree going into a neutral site, but we think we'll be up to it.
And the corporate sponsorship is effective life in college athletics these days. And our thanks to the folks from Pepsi. Thank you, Brad, and Commissioner Doug Elgin. We're at the intermission. We'll have some highlights for you in just a moment. It's a 6-point advantage for the Redbirds. Welcome back to Redbird Arena. Bob Lewandowski once more as the Pepsi halftime report continues. 36-30, the advantage for the Illinois State Redbirds, trying to make it to the championship game. Winner of this game will take on Southern Illinois on Tuesday. And the Redbirds got off to a quick start, opening up an early lead, and some intense defense helped them, and some good shooting. But when you've got the player of the year on your team, as the Creighton Blue Jays do, a guy like Bob Harstad with 18 of his team's points, you can see that he outscored everybody else. Juan Cole with 5, Roggenberg and Gallagher. We're going to need a little bit more offense from those folks. For the Redbirds, pretty balanced attack. Ricky Jackson, Gerard Coleman leading the way. Randy Blair, Richard Thomas, and Robertson Pemberton with just a couple each. As we said, the winner of this game goes into that tournament final. On Tuesday night, they'll take on the winner of Southern Illinois. And Southern beating Tulsa earlier by a 10-point margin, 75-65. Illinois State got here by beating Drake. Creighton got by Wichita State. And the winners, again, meet on Tuesday night. We hope you're enjoying the coverage. We should have a great-looking second half for you. Redbirds by 6. We're getting closer to the second half at Redbird Arena. Illinois State here at home leads Creighton by 6, 36-30 the score. And this game is being brought to you in part by Pepsi and your local Pepsi bottler, a proud sponsor of the Missouri Valley Conference. State Farm Insurance and all the agents in the Missouri Valley region. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. TWA in 150 cities in 18 countries on 4 continents. They have one thing in common, TWA. By Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? And by Coors Light, the one that won't slow you down. The Silver Bullet is the right beer now. It's been a good first half. You know we're going to have a good second half. A narrow margin, the lead for Illinois State, trying to get to the final on Tuesday night. And now, time for the halftime highlight, sponsored by our good neighbor friends at State Farm Insurance. Here we go. Early on, it was Creighton. They've been going to their man, Bob Harstad, but you won't see him shoot the ball from outside, especially from that range very often. All net on that one. Now we're going to see Harstad doing what we've become accustomed to seeing. Working hard inside. Look at him in a crowd. 3 men around him. Breaks through using the glass. Harstad with 18 first half points. Let's go the other way now for the Redbirds. Ricky Jackson will get the feed here deep in the corner. This is a three-pointer on the way. Yes, from way outside. Now let's watch the Redbirds on the break. They'll come up with the loose ball here off the steal. That's Pemberton starting the break. Randy Blair, and he will find underneath Gerard Coleman. The fake, no contact. He got it to go. We are at halftime, getting closer to the second half of play. Illinois State leads 36-30 over Creighton. Back to Redbird Arena after this.
A right choice.
Remaining in this one, 36-30, Illinois State leads. Let's go downstairs for the halftime stats brought to you by Coors Light and rejoin Jim and JP.
Thank you, Bob. We're going to get the amazing Jim Gibbons to go through the halftime stats and see what they tell us. It's presented by Coors Light. Let's see what they tell us.
Thanks for the compliment. Listen, I told you that I thought that the defense would catch up with the offense sooner or later, and if you look right there, both teams are only shooting 40%. Now, Creighton on the year is 47%. Illinois State on the year is shooting at 44%. So Illinois State, this is the poorest shooting team they've had in the last 20 years. So for them to be at 40%, no big shot. They've had more shots. They've had 5 more shots in the first half, and as you'll see, 2 more field goals. The three-point shooting, JP, 2 of 8 for Creighton. They're 39% on the year, and they've taken 561 three-point shots. Now, 2 of 5 for Illinois State, but they're not a three-point shooting team. They've only taken 300. Look at the rebounding. Both teams reasonably even, 20 and 19. Both of them go to the board very well, but both of them block out very well. Offensive rebounds, that's why I'm saying they have done a spectacular job. Only 3 offensive rebounds for each team. Now, if you go over to the turnovers, you'll notice Illinois State they've got 2 turnovers, and Creighton has 7 turnovers. And remember, as I said, Illinois State did not have a turnover the last game in the last 20 minutes. Now, Creighton has got to find somebody besides Bob Harstad to pick up the slack.
Gallagher is back in. He does have 3 fouls, and Tony Barone said one time, I hate to say it, but lots of times he plays better when he is in foul trouble.
Let's see, Illinois State missed the last 5 attempts from the floor to close out the first half. Let's see how they start the second.
Well, fouling already in the first 13 seconds. That's his second foul. He started in place of Porter Moser. Got his first start of the year.
The amazing thing, JP, is Creighton had 11 baskets in the first half, and Bob Harstad made 8 of them. 8 of 11 baskets.
Total of 18 points. He also had 4 rebounds. Gallagher had 6 rebounds, but not many points with 3. Illinois State was on a 9-2 run when we last left you at the half.
To play that zone, probably to protect Chad Gallagher, who has those 3 fouls, and also to spread Illinois State out all over the floor so that they can't get that rebounding advantage, the quickness on the glass.
Troy Bell will kick it out to DeJuan Cole.
You spread Illinois State people out away from the basket when they're on offense. You're doing a big favor for yourself.
Roggenberg, the senior, to Cole. Picked up by Ricky Jackson this time. Harstad out.
That's the way they should do it. See, the weak side help wasn't there, and Blair had to come out on Roggenberg. He should have flown by him when he came out. There's the 5-second count. See, what happened was the double team went down on the weak side, so that was the first time, JP, that they did what I told you I thought they should be doing, kicking it out to the other side. But when you're the other player on that side and the defensive man comes flying out at you, you got to blow by him. You just can't stand there and let them take advantage of it.
Thomas will take it the other way against Cole. He sees the baseline, and he got it. Good move for the freshman. He has 6 points, 38-30. It's an 8-point lead for Illinois State. Cole. Now to Bell.
Saturday's first round game, Illinois State shot 64% in the second half, so let's keep that in mind.
Harstad outside the Bell. And now it's Cole. Looking for Gallagher. They've got to get him into the offense. Gallagher's shot, though, is missed. And it's lost. It stays Creighton's way.
I want to tell you, Illinois State's defensive players, they do a really great job of getting into people's bodies. And sometimes officials miss that because they're looking up top, looking for the slap up above. And I want to tell you, at that time, Gallagher got bumped right out when he was getting ready to take that shot.
Bell looking, Harstad posting against Coleman. Here's Latrell Reitzel, who just checked in for the first time.
Look at how they got out on the three-point shooter. Look at how Thomas got right out on him. Look at how they're shutting down Harstad. Good defense, good defense.
Reitzel to Moser, three-point range, but he missed. Gallagher to board. Up strong, Chad Gallagher. His 5th point of the night.
He's got to get into it because he only had 3 points in the first half.
Coleman against Gallagher. I think Chad may have blocked that in.
And that's smart because he has those 3 fouls. Coleman's got that terrific quickness, so you might as well start pounding the ball into him and see if he can take advantage of it.
Bell to the outside. Now to Harstad by the free throw line.
Harstad waited much too long. They had the situation they wanted, one-on-one with Gallagher.
Oh, great move by Gallagher.
See, that is open. They're really, really doing a good job of attacking Illinois State's defense. But they've got to get the pass to the person at the right time. So Harstad had it wide open the first time, but he didn't give him the ball when he wanted it.
On the baseline, they missed, and there's Gallagher pulling it down. Creighton is within 6, starting to make the comeback. That's what they had trailed by at the half. Here's Harstad against 3. And as Gallagher went up, he gets caught for the foul.
Now let's take a look again. Nice entry pass. Now they did the right thing. Watch them coming from the weak side. There's Gallagher. Well, we're not going to get a look right now because right there, right now, let's take a look at a second angle. There was no reason in the world for him to reach in here. Watch. Now watch. First of all, he pushed off with his elbow. Then he took a slap at it. That young man has got to stay under control, JP, because he knows he's got 3 fouls, and I blame that more on him. Even if the official didn't make a good call, he shouldn't put himself in that kind of a position.
Blair down low. Fowler bodying up. Here comes Reitzel. Looks around quickly to see what he has. Now pulls it out to Roggenberg. Reitzel, that's a 2-pointer. If it goes, and Reitzel is on the board.
That's a plus if that young man scores because he's only averaging 2 points a game. See, I think you can kick the daylights out of people in football and hockey and other sports, JP, but I've always said you can absolutely not play out of control in basketball, and that's the position Gallagher's gotten himself into.
Thomas hit a 3. That's a big one. The freshman Richard Thomas hits the 3, and the lead is up to 7. Clouts, who just checked in with Roggenberg. Harstad goes up, no good. He had 2 players in his face. Jackson fumbled it, got it back, and it had it stripped away, but I believe it last touched Clouts. Timeout.
That is a good timeout, my friend, because Creighton is absolutely out of sync offensively.
We'll be right back to the Valley after this word from Pepsi. Welcome back, everyone. John Paul Della Camera along with Jim Gibbons. It's a 7-point lead for Illinois State. Every time Creighton gets within 4 or 6, they're unable to get that basket to generate something and maybe take a lead.
Good timeout by Tony because I think they're really out of sync offensively. They're only 2 of 9. Illinois State 3 of 7. Creighton's going to have to turn it up a notch defensively. They're going to have to turn it up another notch.
Thomas put it up, no good. Harstad the rebound to Reitzel. Running the show right now with Cole sitting. Low to Bell. Block. Fowler is there.
You can get that ball on the way up, JP, and you can even pin it on the glass in college. Not in the pros, but you can in college.
Coleman on the miss. Moser the rebound. Tony Ball getting ready to check in. So is Sonny Roberts. And John Pemberton for Illinois State.
Well, I want to tell you, Illinois State recovers on those 3-point shooters. Little Fowler on the weak side help has been absolutely tremendous.
And that last miscue has Cole back up. Ready to come in. Good read. Reitzel to Bell. Troy Bell. That's a great read from Reitzel to get him going. That's an easy two.
That Illinois State likes to crash those boards, and if you're conscious of that, you can get that transition basketball going. They're going to stay right in the zone.
Jackson outside to Thomas. Now it's Blair, picked up by Moser.
See, Jackson's wide open. Wide open. They should have gotten the ball to him because now he's going to be one-on-one against Harstad.
Foul and miss. Here's a big chance for Creighton. They're within 5. With 14:08 to go, Moser on the baseline. Put it up, no good. Coming back the other way, it's Blair. And he'll pull it out. The last steal that Illinois State had, they set a record with 207 steals. They have 3 players that have better than 40 each.
You bet. Blair, Thomas, and Jackson have 131 steals.
Coleman to the miss. Blue Jays get it back.
Which obviously means they're creating a lot of their offense with their defense. When you're not a good shooting team, JP, you better be in a position to do that. And again, it's because they've got the quick hands and they supplement the foot action with the hand action.
Roggenberg was staring at a potential 3, didn't like it. Reitzel, good entry to Bell, and he was fouled.
Very good. See, the one thing you have to be conscious of offensively, JP, is that when you get that ball, you aren't going to have much time to do anything because they're coming over and rotating and double teaming. Now, Bell almost waited too long that time to even get a shot off. Once you get it, you see daylight, you better get rid of that basketball. Now what happens is the weak side player offensively for Creighton should be crashing that glass and getting tons of rebounds because there's nobody in a position to box them out.
Bell is not a good free throw shooter in the 30s. Here's an interesting lineup for Tony Barone. He's got Reitzel and Cole in at the same time. Both are normal point guards, and he also has Roggenberg out there as well.
Well, I was wondering if he'll let Reitzel play the point then, JP, and then move Cole over, because Cole has got some range, and he can hit that three-point shot. It'll put a little more pressure, and Reitzel can afford to penetrate because he hasn't got the fouls.
Foul is going to be called in the rebound action on Bob Harstad. That's his second. Well, we'll know when they come up the floor who's going to be running things, but Cole is the better offensive player, more of the threat to perhaps line it up as the scoring guard than Reitzel.
We'll take a look next time up. Be conscious of it.
Here's Hicks with a 5-point lead for the Redbirds to Flores.
That's an interesting lineup in there for both teams. Take a look at the people Creighton have on the floor.
Here's the steal. Reitzel all the way down for the layup. Latrell Reitzel. You said if he had any points, it's a bonus. That's 4 big ones.
How about the anticipation? How about the anticipation, number one? Secondly, the fall of not taking the ball to the action, making a pass with the players, spread that wide, and that quickness that Cole and Reitzel have.
Robertson, an out-of-control hook, but Tony Ball fouled him. That's Tony Ball's first foul, but Creighton is within 3 now.
Boy, you've got Randy Blair on the floor with Roberts and Pemberton and Hicks and Flores. You've got 2 clubs on the floor with really unusual lineups.
Jackson is getting a breather on the Redbird side. Likewise for Gerard Coleman. Let's see what happens with these 2 lineups. See if Creighton makes up some difference. They already have made up some. So we're down by 6 before.
Sonny's only been to the line 44 times, but he's shooting 72%. I assume a reasonably good free throw shooter.
Look good there.
Nice touch right there. Unusual stance. But stance has a lot to do with it, but I also tend to watch the release, and that was a very, very fine release right off the fingertips, and watch the dip with the wrist, because he's going to dip that wrist right into the basket, which is what most people do. There's a violation. They let it go to see if he makes it. Fine. If he makes it, you don't blow anything. If he had missed that, he had another one coming because Creighton had violated.
Reitzel will bring it back up, a 45-40 game. Creighton, the defending tournament champions, down by 5 to Harstad. Look at how strong as he bodies up. His 20th point, but you know that's his first 2 this half.
And did you notice he turned away from where the double team was coming, and that's the only reason he had a chance to make that shot. If he had gone the other way, he would have run right into the defense.
Jackson is back in with Hicks. Flores now will play it back to Hicks. Creighton is within 3.
He's got those two quick people out front that can really cause his own problems. See, they move real well. They've got the foot speed. They've got the hand action. Really doing a good job. Tony's happy with them.
They should be. They've come back. They were down by 8 or 9 before. They're now down by just 3 as we go to break. Well, previously we showed you Bob Bender and his fiance's reactions to the game. We'll give equal time the other side to the other Duke graduate. Tony Barone watching intently. I don't know if he liked it or if he didn't like it. Well, I guess I'd know if he didn't like it. He had to like that. They had to score 2, and his wife, Mrs. Barone, looking on. No, she didn't. No, she didn't like it.
It runs in the family.
You know, that looked more like a J.D. Barnett reaction.
Oh, no, I wasn't going to say that.
Coming back the other way, Ricky Jackson. Puts it up, no good. Rebound. Creighton lost it and then got it back. That's a tough one to lose when you're fighting with your own teammate.
Between the last 2 timeouts, JP, Illinois State had only scored 2 points, and Creighton had scored 7.
Illinois State has gone 4 minutes plus without a basket. Roggenberg picked up by Ricky Jackson to Ball. They can make it a lot closer. Ball with a miss. Harstad, big rebound. The follow-up. Bob Harstad has 22 points. You can see the intensity coming back. Written all over his face.
Remember, we talked about the crowd. They have gotten this crowd basically, except for the first couple of minutes of the second half. They've had the crowd sitting around a little bit.
Thomas outside. Blair missed the 3. Illinois State not getting good shots.
Well, not getting good shots, but they're not getting any second chance efforts. I told you their best offense is the ability to keep the ball alive and get second and third efforts, or at least bring it back out and set up again. And they have really limited them to bad shots. And number 2, no second and third attempts.
No field goals. The last graphic told you in 5 minutes. Roggenberg to call. They almost had another 5-second violation.
But this is where you've got to be patient, Jay. This is JP. You've got to really be patient and not see. That's the one thing you don't want to come down when you've got a chance to get it right where you want it. You've got to stay under control, stay in sync, keep moving, because now Illinois State's the one that's struggling because they have to feel, JP, we've got to stop you defensively because we're not scoring at the offensive end.
Creighton with 10 turnovers, Illinois State with 4. Remember this, the Creighton was down by 8. They're down by 1. They've made the run with Gallagher on the bench with 4 fouls.
That's the amazing thing, and with the lineup that he has on the floor right now, and that's what you call having great confidence in your people on the bench. And we talked about officiating and fouls that somebody may come off the bench and steal the show.
Ball is happy that that one didn't go in because when he went up like that, you knew he was going to get called for the foul. He went for the fake on Fowler. That's going to be his second foul for Tony Ball.
Fowler's listed at 6'5" and 234. I don't know if that's the actual weight because he did, as I tell you, lost 20 or 30 pounds. But now let's see if he stepped out of bounds at that end. I can't. Wait a minute. You talk about nice camera work. Holy cow, that's 2 today that ought to go on the all-time list. Yep, that's another great call. He was on it for a second, but when he moved out to catch the ball and lifted the heel of the foot, he wasn't on that line, and Dan Christmas was standing right there, but I obviously didn't have the benefit of the replay.
Fowler now has 3 points, nowhere near the 16 he had last night when he had a career game. Still 10:06 to play here. It's a 2-point lead for the Redbirds. They've got the great home crowd rooting them on, but Creighton has made a nice comeback. Fowler will score it.
Watch the full court pressure. Just passive. I thought that Hicks was going, or Thomas was going to come up and put it on full court, but it was very passive.
3-point lead for Illinois State. Creighton has been a better-looking team since Reitzel and Cole have played as a tandem. Juwan Cole to Harstad.
Oh, wide open. No weak side help. Very good. And credit that to Reitzel because he kept Thomas occupied and Thomas wasn't able to get over and give the weak side help. That was a great sequence.
Bella has 4 points. There's Thomas, the jumper. That would have been a 2. He may still get it. No.
If it hits the top of that basket or the sides, I want the fans to know that is in play. But then it hit the 45-second clock. Obviously, that's out of play.
9:24 left in the game. Creighton has been there before in the Valley Championship. Harstad, no way he's going to miss that. But Reitzel again with a key play, and Reitzel has been the guy to turn this around.
See, no help and recover right there. He drove the lane and they didn't have a chance to rotate. He saw the opening and oh, too bad.
Bell's third foul.
Too bad. He had the right idea, but you know what he did? He just put his hand on the back, and he didn't push, but watch the hand on the back. That's all they got him for. Not a push. Now, that's still all right. You see a lot of that. Now, watch. He's going to try to get around. Well, now, I have to take it back. Right there, he did. He started to pull him out of position, which I didn't catch earlier.
Fowler right over two players. Illinois State had gone over 7 minutes until they scored that basket. And Cole gets the equalizer. 1-point game. Creighton has taken the lead. Blair. I'm not used to seeing Creighton in this game with the lead.
Wow.
Thomas outside. Jackson three. Oh, big three.
Boy, that's the one thing Tony doesn't want, because that's exactly what Jackson did in the last game. He hit a couple of jumpers that absolutely ignited the crowd, some three-pointers, and you've got to be conscious of where that guy is on the floor. Force somebody else to shoot the basketball.
Reitzel. Now the crowd is a factor.
The same
foul.
Same play we had at the other end. The exact same sequence. And Ed Shermer was right there. Fowler just a little too much body. If you're going to come around. Now watch the body when he tries to come around. See? Just a little too much body. Both of them deflected the ball very well, but they waited too long. See, it doesn't look like there's contact right there on the second angle because it looks beautiful, but he got too much body on him trying to get around.
When Creighton took their last lead at 50 to 49, it was the first time they had led since 17-12 of the first half. Now Creighton is down by a couple. DeJuan Cole from Roggenberg. Reitzel getting open. Nobody spots him. Now Roggenberg takes it in. On the pass down low, Harstad doesn't go. And Fowler is in foul trouble if that's on him. He has three going in.
It is. He's giving him the principle of verticality. He's standing there with his hands up in the air saying, hey, let's see if he did. He is entitled to that position. He can put his hands up in the air. Now, there's the foul right there. There's a foul. Now, there's not a foul right there because Harstad backed right into Fowler. And that's what they talk about. Now, let's see if they're going to put him on the line or they're going to take it out of bounds. Technically, they should take it out of bounds if the foul wasn't on Fowler. But if it's on Fowler, they've got to shoot.
Well, the two officials are talking about it. They might have changed it. I think they're going to change the foul.
No, they're going to change the number. That's right, on the foul.
It's on Jackson.
32, right, exactly. And if that's the case and it's not on Fowler, then I think the play is out of bounds. I don't think he's going to the line.
On the foul is charged to 23, Randy Blair. His second, Scott Fowler still has 3 personal fouls.
So they have changed it.
Yep. Now he's still going to the free throw line. But I'll tell you, that young man, his experience showed, because, you know, he had 2 people laying bodies on him, and he threw the ball back up over his head when he heard the whistle blow just to get himself on the line.
24 points, 7 rebounds, make it 25 for Bob Harstad.
You know who has done a spectacular job?
Besides the cameraman that you keep talking about?
I'm telling you, Troy Bell.
Oh.
I'll tell you what, you knew I wasn't referring to you.
Troy, I wasn't even thinking of that.
Troy Bell has really played great off of that bench for Creighton.
Harstad with 26 points. As we go away, folks, we're tied at the Pepsi Missouri Valley Conference Tournament. Welcome back, everyone. John Paul Della Camera with Jim Gibbons. We're tied for the first time at 52 apiece. If you take Creighton's totals divided in half, you know how many points Bob Harstad has. 26 of them.
And look at the rebounding. 12-5, and I'll tell you, give Bell a lot of credit and give Harstad a lot of credit. And as you said, and we have to keep reminding, that they have done this with Chad Gallagher sitting on the bench. He went out at the 16:51 mark.
Thomas now for the Redbirds. Tied at 52, 7:36 to play. Blair, got it, that's 3. And let's see if Reitzel and Creighton can answer that.
See, Tony Barone wanted Harstead to get out sooner on Blair. He was just too late getting out there to guard him.
Right cell was going in, but then that lane closed. They almost gave it away. Juwan Cole.
Pemberton matched up again. Look at the contact going on inside with Harstead and Pemberton. Now on the other side, you've got Coleman. Now Coleman has switched. They're just switching. When Bell and Harstead switch, Pemberton. Now that's a good reverse pass.
That was a good shot.
You bet. That's all right. Nothing wrong with that at all. He was as wide open as Blair was when he just shot the three-pointer at the other end.
Moser ready to come in. Coleman, body's in a Harstead. I think that body on Coleman's part took himself off the shot.
I tell you, there is a lot of contact going on. I'm not saying they should be blowing anything. They're letting them play, and I'd rather see it that way.
Right cell, now to Cole. Moser at the scorer's table, ready to come in when he can. We're less than 6.5 away from the finish, unless there's overtime. Driving underneath, Cole was out of control, but Roggenberg saves it.
They got to start looking for Harstead. They've got to start looking for that man right there because he wasn't getting many touches.
14 seconds on the shot clock. Right cell. They may not be giving themselves much opportunity for a good shot. Cole put it up for three, no good, off the tip. Blair on the run. Less than 6 minutes to play.
That was a bad sequence. Bad sequence, and you called it, JP.
Pemberton, look what he found. That's only 4 points, but that last one was big. The Redbird fans are all fired up. It's a 5-point lead. We'll come back after this word from Pepsi.
In Illinois State, I say, have just had 2 good ones. Randy Blair with the three-pointer, and that's where Harstead didn't get out on him soon enough. And then Pemberton came back. He has played very, very well off the bench. Bell has, so has Pemberton. Watch inside. Watch that big guy. He knew the contact, the defense was going to start collapsing on him, and he had the presence of mind to get the ball up on the glass as quickly as he did.
Gallagher's checked back in for Bell on the baseline. There's Chad Gallagher. He's got it and counted, and he was fouled.
Tony wasn't going to wait much longer than that with 5 minutes left on the clock. He couldn't afford to wait much longer. That timeout was at 5:45. Watch, Fowler. See, Harstead took the weak side help out. That's a good replay because now there's nobody to help back here. Pemberton was trying to front, and then Gallagher got it up there, and then, who was that? Jackson came down below, but wasn't there in time.
Well, you know that Gallagher didn't come in, even though he's got 4 fouls to be a spectator. He's got to get involved.
That was a perfect shot right there on the replay to show you what's happening. See, Harstead took the person that was going to try to help out. He took him away from the action, and then they had nobody to come over and help.
Illinois State by 2. We've got a dandy for you. Look at that skip pass. Billy King makes a nice catch to the bench. Bob Bender's not applauding that pass. He's making sure the intensity stays there. Bob Bender has 4 timeouts left on his side. Tony Barone 3, and I think those are going to be used down the stretch.
And the arrow is pointing in Creighton's favor. Now see how patient Creighton is. See if they go to Harstead or Gallagher.
Right cell, couple of nice fakes, right in the lane. No good. Harstead couldn't get the rebound, and that's because he had to step over right cell.
Boy, Pemberton got away with it, but you never want to throw that basketball back in under your defensive glass. I mean, that was a lucky recovery right there. If you're going to throw it back as far as you can throw it, but not right underneath your own glass.
Ricky Jackson. This is a very competitive game, just like the one before. How about the Bradley Tulsa one yesterday? We've seen some great competition in the tournament, and Fowler scores.
He's really got that strength to be able to do things like that, JP.
Roggenberg around the Harstead pick. Here comes Matt Roggenberg in the lane. The pull up. Oh, went out. Looked like a great shot.
You know what I thought he was going to do? I thought he was going to stop and set up for the three-pointer. They got mixed up on their exchange on the switch, and he was wide open.
Fowler going in, he walks.
You notice they're getting the ball just as they got the ball to Harstead when he had the hot hand. They're smart enough to get the ball to Fowler right now because he's having another big game after last night's.
Tony Barone wants Cole back in as we check out Bob Bender. In his first year here, he has done well with a 16-12 mark, and they're really fired up, as you can tell, about Illinois State basketball. There are the turnovers to look at. Creighton has cut theirs down. Harstad will take it from 16, and Bob Harstad, 28 points for Bob Harstad. He's showing everybody who didn't know him before that's watching a game in the Valley for the first time why he's the player of the year. Thomas, he's going to take that three.
That is a freshman.
Who said he who hesitates is lost?
Tony Barone just got a big smile on his face and saying, I can't believe that at this stage in this basketball game, with all that leadership on the floor, that he was going to shoot that shot.
Gallagher kicks it to Cole. Now it's Matt Roggenberg. On his dribble, outside to Cole. Harstad. They're trying to find Gallagher, but Pemberton's playing him tough. Right cell. 15 on the shot clock. Harstad. Now to Cole. Great defense, Illinois State. And a foul. What a mismatch that was, though. Thomas ended up on Gallagher. Thomas will commit his third foul.
Hey, watch now. Well, see, he's sealing his man off now. He tried to front him. Now they switched over. See what happened? See the weak side help I'm talking about? They were going to leave the Creighton player wide open in the corner. And as you said, that's a mammoth mismatch right there. But I want to tell you, the shot that Thomas took at 3:15, that may be the answer to the whole game.
John Pemberton sits down with his third personal. Roggenberg. Oh, we got a timeout.
Wait a minute, what do we have?
I don't think it was a technical. They'd be jumping up.
We got a technical foul.
Well, on who?
He reached across. I think he reached across the line.
Well, he looked at Tony Barone's bench, and then I knew they weren't jumping up and down. Let's see.
Watch. He reached across and slapped the player. Exactly.
That's a bad one.
What a big call. I want to tell you, that's 2 shots and the ball out of bounds.
Harstad gets one.
Oh, boy. Now, watch him reach across. There's the slap right there.
That's a senior mistake.
Boy. Wow. And obviously, he knows better than that and didn't mean that, but he was just jumping up and down trying to distract Roggenberg. Now they're going to get it. Now, if it's an intentional foul, they get it where the contact was made, but that wasn't intentional, so it's out of bounds at the 10-second line.
This could be a turning point. We'll know when we come back for more. Oh, it's exciting here in Normal, Illinois. Look at that score, 62-59. Illinois State with a slim lead. Tony Barone's team, let's see if they can come back. They got the technical foul call, so a couple of free throws by Harstad, and more importantly, ball possession. You bet. I'm sorry, Jim, magic numbers for Creighton, 80 points. They never lose, but they're not going to hit 80 unless this one goes into OT.
Down to a 3-minute basketball game right now. And look at Illinois State. They're coming out in a zone. Good call by Bob Bender. Doesn't like to do it because he thinks that the 3-point shooters will hurt him in the zone. But look, they found him right behind the defense. Look at the reaction to the glass.
Gallagher fighting with the 4 fouls. He just didn't get it. Interesting to note that this is Harstad's 8th 30-point game, and in the 7 previous when he scored 30, they've won 6 of the 7. 2:20 left in this one. Jackson against Roggenberg, and Roggenberg bodied him. Roggenberg's 4th personal foul.
Cannot fault Creighton for what they just almost got out of that last sequence. I mean, Harstad had himself in position for 2 great shots. Gallagher almost had another effort at it and got the ball stripped away, but that wasn't a bad sequence.
Well, the more you watch Bob Harstad, the more you're going to talk about him, and he is just a junior. He comes back next year.
Well, I asked him about what motivates him, as I said to you yesterday. Let's take a look at the first.
Oh, he missed it. Here comes Cole the other way. Right side. We'll bring it back against Thomas. Roggenberg to Harstad. Trying to find Gallagher. Pemberton knocked it out.
Hey, Tony just came racing down the sideline. I don't know whether he said shoot the ball, but see, the Cole was wide open. See, that's what he's telling him. Look at, he was jumping up and down with a shooting motion because they got everything out of that sequence they wanted, except Cole didn't shoot the ball.
We're down to 2 minutes. Anybody's ball game, a 3-point lead for Illinois State. The winner of this faces the Salukis of Southern Illinois Tuesday right here for the championship. Go on, Cole. with the freshman Thomas against them. And Thomas, the freshman, has looked good.
They've got to get some player movement. That's better. That is absolutely better.
In and out, Roggenberg. Look at Harstad. 32 points.
The more they stand around, JP, the more chance you give for the defense to do all that helping and recovering. But when you start moving players and attack, that's exactly what Roggenberg did right down on the baseline.
On that baseline, Jackson. He just right side to Roggenberg for three. No good. Gallagher knocked it. It's going the other way. Illinois State wants to take a timeout. Tough sequence for Creighton as they come up with nothing there. 64-61, Illinois State took that last timeout. They have 3 timeouts left with 1 minute and 8 to go. What's the strategy, Coach Gibbons?
I'll tell you, the problem right there that happened. Now, I know why Bob Bender's calling a timeout, because they're going to try to burn some time off of that clock right now. Watch. See, he was wide open. That's a shot that you've got to hit at this stage of the game. Gallagher tried to keep the ball alive when I thought he had a chance. I thought he had a chance to go up and get that rebound, and I think he got distracted. I don't know if we can hear Tony. Okay, now the ball went down to the other end, and the point I was going to make is that Matt Roggenberg got caught into another one of those matchups, JP, where he wasn't quick enough to defend the person he was guarding. But my point again is, some coaches like to drive you to the baseline. They tell their people, drive him to the baseline, because there are less options open to a player when he goes to the baseline than when he goes to the middle of the floor. But I think when you've got a weak player defensively that doesn't have the foot speed, I think Matt's got to get into a defensive position where he forces that player out into the middle of the floor where he can get the help he needs.
1:08 left. A 3-point lead for Illinois State, and they have the ball.
That's right. Now, they cannot let them burn too much time. They're going to have to foul sooner or later, and they've got to pick out the person they want to put on the foul line.
Coming back, a Wrightsell foul. Latrell Wrightsell commits only his first foul. I'm trying to think in this game. I was going to talk about Harstad's enthusiasm, his intensity. He's not come out of the game, has he? He's played almost the full 40.
Almost the full 40 minutes. And I want to tell you, he's played as hard as it's humanly possible to play in a basketball game.
In the nearly 40th minute, he's playing just as hard as he did in the first.
You bet. And that's something that youngsters that are watching and listening ought to pay attention to. You don't happen to be a player of the year in the Missouri Valley Conference or any conference. You don't get many awards if you don't work at it. People think it comes naturally. It didn't come naturally to him.
We said this yesterday. There are others with more talent, but he gets the most out of his.
Everything that happens positive for him, he deserves and more, only because of his work ethic. He is the hardest working basketball player, one of the hardest I've ever watched.
Thomas missed it. Gallagher was picked up by Pemberton. A 4-point lead for Illinois State. Remember that 3-point weapon, Creighton shoots it better than anyone but Indiana State.
Good point. A lot of time left in this game, Jay. Now he's going to get a time. Not a bad call by Tony.
What does Tony want to do at this point? Let's think. 58 seconds left, and he's down by 4.
The one thing you want to do, I'll tell you, is you want to make sure that you don't fire up a bad shot right now. And I don't honestly believe that Creighton needs a 3-point shot right now. They've got 58 seconds left in this game. Take the best opportunity for the best shot you have. Now, if they don't get it, they've got to crash that board and see if they can get a second or third effort. The other thing is, if they do score, it wouldn't surprise me if he called a timeout. Now they can set up that press if they want to. He'll pick out the man they want to foul, and I'm going to foul. I'm going to go to Richard Thomas again, because he's a freshman, because he's only a 68% shooter, and because he missed the last one that he tried.
You know, we've talked a lot about Bob Harstad. Here's another Harstad note. He's just become the school single-season scoring leader, 707 points, surpassing Benoit Benjamin, who's now in the NBA. The laurels just keep on coming. Let's take a look at the timeouts. Creighton has one more to call. Bob Bender has 3 more if he wants it.
If they score here, I'm assuming they're going to get that timeout. Now, Bob Bender is obviously setting up everything he's going to do on this offensive sequence when he gets it and what he's going to do defensively when they come down the floor.
Well, college basketball fans couldn't ask for more than this.
Oh, boy.
Darren Plotz will inbound. Ron Cole, 55 seconds left. Cole comes all the way through. He got it! No! Offensive foul!
Player control foul on 14, Ron Cole, his 3rd.
Take a look. Now, when he leaves his feet, see if the defensive player is planted. Boy, there's a lot of movement right there.
I don't think so. I don't think his feet were planted. Did you? Here's the foul on Cole.
The whole answer, and I'll say it again so our viewers will understand. The defensive player has to be planted, has to be solid, stationary, before the offensive player leaves his feet. Even if I've taken one step and that player hasn't planted. See, now that's not a good call, because that player was not planted, and he
good, and it was going to be a foul on a potential 3-point play, which changes it. Instead, it takes 2 away. Pemberton good.
Now they've got to get it up in a hurry, JP. They can't afford. That's it. They got to take the 3-pointer.
Moser with it in. Pemberton in the rebound. Tries to bang it off Plotz and does, and gets it back. Blair will inbound it. There were a lot of seats sold here for today's game. No one is sitting in them now. Pass in, just got it to Thomas. Harstad trying to foul him and missed. Pemberton lost it. With 27 seconds to go, Creighton is down by 6. Load up that 3-point cannon. Here's Ron Cole. He knows it. He takes it. He thought it was going in. In and out. And Jackson says, let's settle down.
That shot that missed just did it right there. If he'd have made that shot, I thought they still had a chance.
They're going to the championship.
Yep.
Fowler. Right shot will bring it down, but it's all over. Illinois State will go on to the championship against Southern. Pepsi player of the game, and it's too bad it came in a losing effort for Bob Harstad, because all he'll remember is the loss, but he's the man. 32 points, 9 rebounds. He got a lot of those points and rebounds when Gallagher had some foul trouble. He kept Creighton in, then brought him back when they were down. That will be the future of Mrs. Bob.